that's probably the most valuable piece of advice he gave me is you can't change the past, you can only change the future. So
when the spotlight hits you, oh no, I need you like Jiu-jitsu.
Welcome back to another Yobjj podcast, otherwise known as Youth of Brazilian Jiu-jitsu. It's a platform where we share knowledge, we have some fun, and we educate and empower young kids to really take action and to learn about how jiu-jitsu can impact their life. And today I'm joined with my special guest, Cooper Burnham. Thank you so much for joining today's episode, Cooper.
thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And I know, Cooper, belated happy birthday to you guys. So come on, guys, comment down below. Happy birthday to Cooper right now.
So I'm a brown belt from Absolute MMA. I've been training 9 years. I was from the country, a town called Mildura. Then I moved to Melbourne to pursue jiu-jitsu more. Competed a lot, competed in America and Japan, done a lot of worlds before like COVID and everything. Yeah, other than that, that's it to me. Just a brown belt, getting after it.
In year 12, the HSC is a big period of your life and committed to the studies, but as well as you want to try and still stay sharpen your iron in training as well.
So between kind of doing everything for myself, like cooking, cleaning, getting myself around in like a big city, and then trying to do training, trying to, do well at my studies, was very hard. So when I got to like the real busy period, I was only training like once a week, just because I needed to study. Did media, which is like a folio subject, so you have to put so much time into it. So for me, my own experience and just figuring things out, like that's what made me mature. Like, you get home, like I'd go to school all day, go home, eat something, go to the city, train for 2 hours, get home like 8:30, cook myself dinner. Then if I had to do study, I have to do study. And then it's also like the biggest thing for me was like, okay, if I don't wash my gi right now, no one's going to wash it. Mom's like, yeah, she's not going to wash it. I need to wash it. So like,
I feel personally that we share a lot of common ideas, and as well as you traveling to seek your dreams. And I think it's really inspiring to see. And without further ado, I'd like to dig straight into a traveling experience, because I know with the post that you have and knowing you, I believe in a blue belt, I felt like I was like back in the time. I was too shy to approach you, but I definitely was aware of your name and the competitiveness that you've had and competing internationally. So if you could walk us through on where you've traveled and those highlighted moments in your comp career.
Yeah, thanks, man. So I think I started like traveling internationally when I was like 15 to compete. But all thanks to my parents for sending me there. Just jumped in and I lost a lot at the start. And then when I was like 14, I was orange belt like back when I was a junior, and I won like most of the states, national, Pan Packs. I won everything. So then my dad kind of said, oh, well, why don't we like do a bigger comp overseas? I said, all right, like let's do it. And then in 2015, my first trip to America was Pan Kids, and I got silver in the green belt division, losing to a guy from AOJ in the final. And then I did Kids Worlds that year as well. It's not really that comp's not really around anymore. So then the following year, like start of juvenile, so you can actually do IBJJF tournaments, which was like when I was like gunning for, like that's everyone wants IBJJF competitions. Asian Open, I won the division open class, juvenile 2 in Japan, in Tokyo. I got silver at Worlds. I got silver at Nogi Worlds. What else? I won the adults at nationals, gi and nogi. So I only competed at Nogi Worlds. It's a lot harder. I was in the adults, so when you're in the adults, it's a lot harder to obviously win because you're in a bigger pool.
So like you just mentioned quickly, transitioning to the adult division, the other young people from juvenile to transitioning to the adults, it's quite a big jump. So how was that process like for you?
So for me, it is hard. And actually right now, I really feel for people like my brother who are actually missing out on being juveniles right now, because I think that juvenile period is like an important step between being a junior and an adult, as in junior divisions, 2 years later to competing in adults, which is fine when he rolls adults, but like, I don't know, juvenile is a really cool period to get a lot of good experience. But for me personally, I didn't find it too hard, only because I started doing adults divisions when I was 16. Just because like it was just for the challenge. So when a juvenile goes in the adults division, the adults are a lot stronger, it can kind of just ragdoll them around. But since I'm quite fast and explosive, I didn't struggle too much with that. But yeah, I didn't find it too hard, like on a national level. But I was already doing it since I was 16. Well, I think I did my first adult division when I was 15.
Like you said previously, again, you hopped into the adult division at 16 years old, when adult division is like 18. So you have matured so much during that period, and taking that step out of your comfort zone to be more independent, because I guess that will in time be the case for many athletes that do want to pursue competing at the high level, have to be learning to train and to find your own way around.
Focus on the positives, not the negatives. But I definitely think like your own experience is what I learned the most from, and I think is like what you can get the most valuable kind of stuff from. Felt like I could, live anywhere by myself. So it's like good.
Positives are the negatives, because I'm sure across life, even in our jiu-jitsu journey, we experience our highs and lows, right? And I guess the same applies to life. Of role models that you've had and met, like starstruck moments, or any valuable pieces of advice that the professors or jiu-jitsu players have shared with you?
But probably the thing that stands out the most to me was, so my coach, he always tried to like teach me things, and especially because I lived with him and I've known him since I was a very young age. So before I moved in with him in 2017, I'd actually been staying in his house for like a week at a time in school holidays. So I'd always come down to Melbourne since I was like 14 and just train for a week. And the thing that probably stands out to me the most, so I think like the things I learned all were mainly from 2017, because that was like when I'd first moved and I was just learning new things every day. Yeah. And probably the piece of advice that he taught me was that stands out was in 2017 in the Pan Packs. I was the first day, it was gi, and I'd lost in my division. I can't remember what round I think it was the final I lost, or the semi-final, I can't remember. Like, you can't change what's happened now. You lost. It is what it is. Can't change the past, but you can still change the future. You got no gi tomorrow, so just like keep your head high and come back tomorrow. And that was really valuable. Definitely going forward from that moment, I didn't really dwell on anything that happened. I just accept things really quickly. If something bad happens, I'm like, okay, it's happened. I need to fix it now. So it's super valuable.
Something that's frustrating us and stressing us in life, that we can tend to doubt ourselves, but as well as, I think in your case, having someone else out of yourself, another perspective, to really share those words can be very enlightening. And to end us off, Cooper, is again, you are such a well-seasoned competitor. You have competed internationally, and like you suggested, so many tournaments you competed in. And what would be the greatest advice that you could give to someone who may be in your 16-year-old shoes, that they're young and they're trying to make it up, they're trying to make a name for themselves in the jiu-jitsu scene? What would you say?
As much as possible, get as much experience as you can. And also, like, I always used to get very nervous. So just try not to get nervous. Doesn't mean anything. No one's going to remember it. Like, the only evidence of it is going to be on your Instagram, just like compete as much as you can, get as much experience as possible. Try not to get nervous, because it really doesn't matter. I think that's what I would say. Yeah. Nothing more. Just compete a lot. And have fun. Enjoy jiu-jitsu.
Is that Cooper has a podcast, Burnham Bros. So if you could quickly share a little bit of insight on what content that you have for us there, Cooper.
Yeah, sure, man. Thank you. Burnham Bros. My last name is Burnham. I have a brother named Bodie, but it's mainly my dad and I. We just do a podcast and we just interview people who we think would be interesting. So we've interviewed a few people now, a lot of them big names like Lucas Lepre, Janji Ribeiro. We've done heaps of people. So yeah, we just ask them about their life. We try to ask them some interesting questions as well, not just like jiu-jitsu. It's on Spotify and YouTube and everything like that. We do it on Zoom, so there's video as well. And yeah, hopefully we're going to start to get some more local names as well and get the podcast more regularly.
So again, thank you so much, Cooper. Cooper, one more thing. Share your socials. Where can we find you and follow you on your journey?
Thank you. Just I'm mainly on Instagram, just Cooper Burnham BJJ, and I'm on Facebook as well. I have a page, which is Cooper Burnham BJJ Athlete, but mainly on Instagram. That's where I'm at. Platform
and community that I hope to share on this YouTube channel. For all those that are watching, feel free to comment down below your thoughts, message us. We're happy to talk with you guys. And with that said, team, that wraps up another Yobjj episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep smiling, keep training hard. So here at Duro. Peace, guys.